What's up, everybody? Well, I got another gameplay video for you guys today on the Asus G15 Advantage, and this time we're gonna give Scorn a try. Now, this was requested a freaking long time ago, so hell, the person who requested this probably just unsubscribed thinking, man, this guy doesn't do no requests. But I do, I just got way behind. But luckily, like I've said in the last couple videos, I decided to stop doing ultra wide or 4K with the laptop unless I've been requested to do so. It just wastes too much time and almost nobody watches those videos. Those usually get like 15 to 20 views when all the rest of my videos get like at least 100 if you give them a couple days. And then my more successful videos get like 600 to 1,000 views. So when I'm sitting here seeing 12 and like maybe 20 views, I just think, oh, that's not really worth my time. I could be doing other people's actual requests that they requested instead of doing those two resolutions. Now, that doesn't mean I'll never do them. If you guys request and say, hey man, could you try Overwatch 2 on ultra wide, even though that's a bad example because I don't think ultra wide is supported on that, but just as an example, I could go, sure, I don't mind doing that. Let me go make you that one video. No problem. I don't mind doing requests. So if anybody does want to see ultra wide or 4K, just let me know, and I don't mind doing you a custom little video, but it just doesn't seem to do me any good if somebody's like, hey man, can you tell me how Scorn runs? To sit here and do Scorn on the 1080p, 1440p, ultra wide, and 4K, and then move on to my actual desktops. Makes much more sense to do 1080p, 1440p, and then move right on to desktops unless I'm asked. So, sorry for the long intro, but I just wanted to get that off my chest, just so people know. The more I say it, the more people will hear it, and the more people will know. So that's what happened to the ultra wide and 4K, if anybody's wondering why you don't see those super often anymore. Anyway though, so why don't we go ahead, get this laptop hooked up to our capture computer, and go get ourselves some Scorn gameplay, both screen and camera recorded.
Well, alright, before we jump into the game, let's just go through the settings, and unfortunately, sound didn't record for whatever reason. Even though OBS said that there was sound going into it, I saw the little yellow marks in my OBS window, seeing as though I used that as a screen. But for whatever reason, it just decided it didn't want to record sound. Anyway, we're going to start off on low, and as you saw, no VSync or anything. And we've already reached the bottom of what I'm talking, so let's get into the game. Well, here we are in the game here. And as I said in the settings, for whatever reason, it didn't record sound. So that's pretty weird. Like I said in my beginning, it was showing sound going into OBS. Probably no matter what, even if I had noticed it, it probably wouldn't have worked. And there's also a lot of stutter when I had it hooked up to the capture computer. There's not this much stutter when I do the camera portion, so make sure you guys watch the cam portion if you want to see how the game really plays. I only play on high, but if it can play on high, you can imagine it can do just fine on all the rest of the settings too. Yeah, it's doing all sorts of goofy shit while hooked up here. It did not do this stuff later on, so don't let this fool you. It doesn't really run this horribly. It's just being kind of an asshole and making itself look worse than it really is. There's something weird about AMD and like hooking anything up to the USB-C on this thing. Like, you can hook a monitor up to it and it's fine, but if you hook a capture card up to it, it seems to still give you like bad frame times and stutter and all sorts of weird shit. But at the same time, if I only do camera recorded, even with my badass camera, it does look a little bit not as professional. So I don't really know what to do about that. There was an update to, OBS today. Maybe that fucked with something, but it's still been doing this for a while prior, so I don't really think it's the update's fault. And I just plugged my Steam Deck in and recorded a video, and it had sound, because, you know, just scrolling through the freaking home page, it makes sound, and that worked, so I don't know what was up with this, but again, I apologize for no sound, but let's move on. Well, now we're going to move on to medium. So let's just quickly go over the settings. There's not very many to go over here. And of course, we'll do some FSR right at the end. We'll just do that with the game completely maxed out, though. But there we are. That's the bottom. So now, let's go hop on into the game. Well, now for a little medium gameplay. Again, there's no audio. I don't know why it didn't record audio. It said it was recording the audio. And I just tested my Steam Deck out before starting this, just to make sure it still actually is recording things properly. And yeah, recorded all of its audio just fine, so I don't know what was up its butt for this, but I do apologize for that. Maybe I alt-tabbed and the sound shut off. Who knows? But at least you guys can see the FPS and whatnot, so we've at least got that. All right, well, we got that little thing. So now where do we go? All right, well, let's try this. Let's see, I just want to make sure what this thing is. This thing can't do anything? Okay. Can't do anything with that. All right. Probably supposed to mess around with this doohickey. All right, you can open that side. And you can do that side too. All right. And then you can go over there. Nope, it locked again. Okay. We've got to get it so it unlocks. There we go. We got it now. All right, we have managed to unlock a door. Already got farther than I thought I would in this game. But no, I should be all right with it. I'm pretty good at puzzles in real life. All right, well, let's get through that fucking door before it closes here. I was going to end the video there, but come on, go, 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 go. All right, cool. We made it. Now for some high graphic settings here. And it's still got no sound for whatever reason. It's probably going to be like that the entire time. I'm just guessing. But hey, maybe we'll be surprised and there'll be some sound before camera, but I wouldn't bank on it. Anyway, though, let's get into the game, because you guys can at least see the FPS. Well, now let's get ourselves a little high gameplay in here. And I just thought of something. I should probably hook the laptop back up and test that, make sure it can have sound too. Because just because the Steam Deck's working fine doesn't mean there wasn't maybe some problem with the laptop I didn't see. Because I definitely don't want any more videos with no sound for you guys. I'm already embarrassed enough, but at the same time, this was still a lot of work to go back and do. And then for all I know, I do that again and it still doesn't work. So figured, well, we're already at this point, so you guys can at least see the FPS. The sound is not as important to showing you guys how it runs, because I can assure you the sound was working fine the whole time. Or it should have been. That just goes to show you OBS can lie and tell you, oh yeah, we're recording audio. Look at all the little yellow bars going across there. All right, so with this thing, we can get a bird's eye view, and it looks like we can also move whatchamacallits around, like little rails. Well, we'll fiddle with that a little later. Who knows if that's even what I'm supposed to be doing right now. So for now, why don't we... All right, there it is. I could have to find my damn ramp to get back down from here. Still wish there was sound, though. It is kind of a bummer. But I also, while I was in the middle of recording, I was able to still hear the door, and I got my new Thermal Grizzly Extreme high-performance thermal compound. So I'm going to open up my laptop again and definitely, well, not definitely, but hopefully get those temps under control now. I'm hoping once they take the thermal pads out, it'll be able to have the, what do you call it? Connectivity it needs. The mounting pressure, that was the words I was looking for. And then we can let the CPU get more wattage again. I've got it set to 25 right now. That's why it's getting such low megahertz. Anyway, now for some recommended settings here. So again, we'll just cruise through here. And then after this, we'll go through some FSR. And then the camera gameplay. So there we are. We got into the bottom. So now why don't we go ahead and hop into the game and see how it plays on recommended. Here we go with some recommended gameplay now. Let's fiddle around with this contraption. What does this guy do? All right, it looks like it can't do anything yet. Okay. We'll figure this out eventually. There's probably a prerequisite. All right, well, what else do we got in this room? Can't sit in this chair yet. Nope, keep hitting A, nothing's happening, so... Nope, doesn't matter where I go. All right, well, what else do we got around here? Oh, this is obviously some kind of door. We probably can't open it yet, but we might as well try. Oh, nope, we gotta go to the other side here. Here we go. I still wish we had damn sound, but whatever. It is what it is. All right, what is this thing? Oh, nope, can't use it. Okay. All right, what about you? What do you do? Nothing? All right. Whole lot of nothing. How about you? What do you do? Nothing? Okay. But all right, though. We've reached about the 2-minute mark, so why don't we now go ahead and move on? Well, now we can try out FSR. And it says Super Resolution 2, so I'm assuming it's FSR 2. But no way to really know for sure. But we're leaving everything else on high, doing quality, and now we've reached the bottom. So it's time to get into the game and see how it does. Well now, let's get ourselves a little FSR quality gameplay in now. We only gonna get like a minute of this though. Because honestly, mostly at 1080p and on the Steam Deck, it doesn't really seem to help very much. It usually just makes things way worse. Obviously, there are exceptions to the rule on both, of course. And apparently somebody gave me a good tip. Apparently you can make it look a lot less terrible by turning on sharpening. And I almost never do that in any of my videos. Because I didn't know what the hell it did. So, if I don't know what something does, I tend to leave it the hell alone. Because I usually feel like, oh, if I don't know what it does, I'm probably just going to fuck something up, make the game run worse, look worse, something like that. Anyway, though, why don't we take a little hit? Again, very sorry there's no audio. Pretty cool to be able to just talk normally while holding in a hit like that. Hell, I can even take a drink while holding a hit in. I mean, obviously they go into different tubes, so why not, you know? All right, though, let's move on. Now for FSR 2 Balanced. So let's just look through the settings here real quick. We're leaving it on high, but I just wanted to show you there's no funny business, so we keep showing you the settings, and it makes it easier for me to do chapters once I upload it to YouTube, instead of just trying to skim through the thing and figuring out where on earth it is I change to the next setting, you know? But all right, let's move into the game. Now let's get ourselves some FSR Balanced. Rolling around here, got a tiny bit of gameplay here. Still no sound, unfortunately, but I didn't know. I never do have audio on my end, and all I have to go by is these little yellow bars in my OBS window, because that's how I watch and get gameplay. And we still get a little stutter here. Interesting. Yeah, sometimes this game has that DirectX 12 stutter, but I think it's also does a lot worse when you're hooked up to the capture computer for some reason with the frame times, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because the FPS is just so high and it starts confusing the capture card. I don't know. But it's a 240 hertz capture card. And regardless of the signal going into it, it should be able to still record it. It just can't save the data at anything more than 240 FPS, to my knowledge. But we're nowhere near that in this game. Not on this computer, anyway. So I didn't really think that was going to be an issue, and I don't think it is. AMD just has weird issues. Maybe it's because I have it cloning my screen. It's the same screen on two things. So maybe that like cuts down on performance or gives you more frame times. Who knows? Anyway, though, it's time to move on. Well, last up, before we get into camera gameplay, we'll do some FSR Performance gameplay here. But first, let's one more time go through the settings here. And we have reached the bottom. And in case I don't mention it, when I do camera, we're going to be doing high settings with no FSR. But anyway, let's get into the game. Well, here we go with some FSR Performance gameplay now, and still no sound, so we didn't have sound the whole damn time. I do apologize again for that. I'm probably sounding like a broken record, but I know a lot of people probably don't sit here and watch the entire video from start to finish, so they're probably going to sit here and go, what the hell, where's the sound at? All I hear is this dude talking. Well, unfortunately, even though OBS said it was recording sound, it did not. And I tried hooking my Steam Deck up, and it did the same thing just fine. Had sound, showed the little yellow bars, recorded, and it had sound in all the games I tried. So I don't know what was up the program's butt for this game, but something could have happened. I noticed when you Alt-Tab out of it, when I was on my secondary computer, the sound goes out. So maybe I accidentally Alt-Tabbed or something. I don't remember doing that, but maybe that happened, and maybe that's what happened to the sound. Because until I Alt-Tabbed into the game, even though I was already in it, it didn't have sound on my secondary computer. So I'm starting to think that's probably what happened here. But at the same time, I got all this footage, and audio really isn't the biggest deal when it comes to showing you how the game runs, because the audio was running just fine. It has audio. So as long as the FPS is good, that's the part that's important here. But I'm still sad that there's no audio. It's just, I didn't feel like going back and fixing it. But let's move on. Well, alright guys, now let's get ourselves a little camera gameplay here. I still have absolutely no idea where I'm supposed to go. Unfortunately, I never have sound in the beginning portion of this. Although, to be honest, this doesn't seem like the kind of game that tells you what to do. If I had to guess, I just kind of woke up, jammed some weird shit in my arms, and now I'm supposed to figure shit out. That would be my guess. And so far, we've already tried to use this. It doesn't seem to be functional yet, so there's probably a prerequisite. Again, this one I can't do anything with either. Doesn't work. I keep hitting A and it doesn't do anything. Now if I go up here, there's a cool little device that lets me just see all around the whole area, which is also pretty cool. But we've already been up there. But fuck it. Why don't we go up there again? Why the hell not, you know? See? There's some, where did the stupid thing go? There it was. If we go up here and hit this, we can kind of get like a bird's eye view of the whole ordeal around here, which is pretty cool. Okay. Interesting. Don't know what the hell I did, but I made some shit into a circle. Oh, was that the little track? It did look like there was a track. I wonder what it's for, though. That's the question. It looked like I moved this thing. So let's just look around, I guess. We'll never know what to do if we don't keep exploring. Okay, and then it comes up to like a weird Lazy Susan looking thing. This must be the kinds of shit I was flipping around. So it's not that I was moving the whole damn wire. I was just moving these circles. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I was gonna say, how in the hell did I manage that, you know? I know this is some weird goofy, like, almost looks like a frickin', like you're in hell almost. But yet, like, Alien. It's like if Alien met hell, this is what it would probably look like. So yeah, man, I don't really know what to do, unfortunately. So let's just keep on exploring, I guess. Doesn't hurt to explore. Well, I guess something could kill me, but hey, if that happens, it is what it is. And yeah, games definitely smooths out once you disconnect it from the capture computer. For some reason, AMD just seems to be really lame when it comes to trying to capture anything. At least on this laptop. You can't use Relive, and then use OBS, and it uses up CPU or GPU, one of the two, and makes you get less FPS. Same thing with OBS. I mean, even Relive would a little bit, but I feel like that one would work best. But for whatever reason, that doesn't work on this laptop. Don't know why. But even so much as hooking this thing up to a capture card, you guys saw it. This thing was a stuttering machine.
I literally thought my laptop was just like finally broken. Like, oh shit, limiting the heat didn't work. It's just gonna fucking die on me. But as you guys can see, we're getting pretty good temps since I lowered the CPU TDP down to like 25 for now. But my pace should be here today. So I don't know if by the time it gets here, most shit from Amazon comes around like 7 to 8 for me, and I'm not going to want to sit there that late and start making the video, so I'll make that video tomorrow. I'll just focus today on getting done with Scorn. But as you can see, you can play this game maxed out, and it's pretty much buttery smooth. At least at 1080p, we don't got no FSR or anything like that on. I know I'm just kind of walking around in a circle, kind of like I did in Sasuna's Sacrifice, or Hellblade Sasuna's Sacrifice. What's wrong, Misty? Did you hear some critters outside? Birds must be here, or the squirrels must be here. I literally just have bird feeders out there, just mostly for the squirrels. The birds come too, but the squirrels usually come and take most of it. And I know I could like grease the thing and make it so they can't get up, but nah. I don't mind. I'd rather everything out there get a bite to eat. As long as they're not gonna fucking fight over it. That's one thing I'm not gonna tolerate. I'm not gonna watch animals kill each other over food in front of my house. So far, so good, though. Though I got this really cool squirrel that comes around. I named him Big Red, or Boss Red, because he's got a big old scar, and he's huge. He used to be here as a baby, and he just ate and ate and ate, and now he's gigantic, and it looks like some bird of prey or something tried to scoop him up, because he's got a big scar on his back now. But it's healing up. So, that's all good. He'll probably survive. What's up, Misty? She's very, very talkative. She's trying to get my attention. What do you want, Misty? I'm trying to make a video. You want pettins? What a silly kitty. But alright, we're at 6 minutes, so I think that's good enough. Hey, that's enough. She's trying to, like, play. I'm trying to make a video here. I'll play with you as soon as I'm done, okay? But alright, that's about it. Why don't we go wrap this video up now? Stop attacking me, you silly kitty. Well, alright, guys. That is a wrap for Scorn, at least at 1080p. And it was a little stuttery and whatnot. When I hooked it up to the capture card, it was stuttering like crazy. I honestly thought my laptop was broken. But I guess that was just the capture card being lame. Some games, it affects more than others. It shouldn't be affecting anything. But as far as I'm concerned, AMD just has like a stick up its ass or something. It doesn't seem to like being hooked up to anything. Everything has to be just flawless for it to work properly. Because I've never ever seen a capture card make a game look laggy and stuttery like that, and then have it be just fine when I do the camera recorded portion, which I'm very glad people talked me into keeping up on the camera recorded section, because if I didn't do that, everyone would probably just assume the game ran like shit and wouldn't even give it a chance on the laptop, even though it runs just fine. So I gotta start doing a little PSA, I guess, at the beginning of my video saying, hey, apparently my capture card doesn't agree with my laptop anymore, so it might make it look a little bit stutterier than it actually will be. Make sure you watch the end, you know, to see what it really looks like, even if you only watch for 2 seconds. That way you can see it at least runs good. At least at 1080p. But now it's time for us to end this and go ahead and move on to 1440p, and that's where we'll stop. Because like I was saying at the beginning of the video, it doesn't make any sense to do ultra wide or 4K when no one's watching, when I could be doing actual requests for people that did request stuff, you know? Makes a lot more sense that way. So, sorry it's been taking so long to get to you guys' requests. If I haven't done it, always make sure to keep commenting. I might lose it. I might not even see in the dang comments. Sometimes YouTube doesn't even let me know I've got comments. They just get lost in comment hell or something like that. But anyway, though, it's time for me to move on to 1440p here. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, though. And until the next one, peace out, guys.